Good morning student. Today I Purnima is going to teach you a poem Fire and Ice. This again is written by the poet Robert Frost. We have already done about this writer in the previous poet. I have told you about Robert Frost. He was an American poet. Once again let me tell you about this poet. So Robert Frost was a famous American poet. He was born in San Francisco on March 26, 1874. So when he was born on March 26, 1874. His father belonged to New England and his mother was a Scottish immigrant from Edinburgh. By 1920, Frost was the most celebrated poet in America. His poetical work, A Boy's Will, north of Boston, New Hampshire. A Boy's Will was published in 1913. North of Boston was published in 1914. New Hampshire was published in 1923. A Further Range was published in 1936. Steeple Bush was published in 1947 and In the Clearing 1962. Increased his fame and honor. The poem Dust of Snow was published in New Hampshire in 1923. This collection gave him the Pulitzer Prize. So he got the highest award also. He got the Pulitzer Prize. Okay. And when this poem New Hampshire in 1923 was published. Now children, I will be telling you about the theme of the poem Fire and Ice. And Fire and Ice is an extremely compact little lyric. Not a syllable is wasted here. The theme of the poem is the age-old question. The question is whether the world will end in fire or in ice. This is a very typical question. Many people, they don't know what would be the doomsday, whether the world will end in fire or in ice. The poet decided any of the two options which achieve its purpose sufficiently well. The poet shares the common belief that everything that exists will have its end too. Children, we all know that who are born in this earth, they will surely die. All the living things will die one day, and children, there will be no existence of non-living things also. So this is a belief that one day the whole earth will perish, one day the whole earth and the things on the earth will end. People are divided on this issue. Some think that the natural element of fire will cause destruction of the world. Now children, there are two groups of people. One is thinking that the natural destruction element of the fire will cause destruction of the world. Other believe that ice will be the cause of the end. Putting in terms of human emotion, the element of fire stands for passion, desire and love. So children, what are the elements of fire? Patience, desire and love. Unbridled patience and desire can cause the end of the world. The poet has experienced both these emotions. It doesn't matter how the world will end. Even heat born out of the cold and icy reason is sufficient to cause destruction and the end of the world. So even heat born out of cold and icy reason is sufficient to cause destruction and the end of the world. The style. Now children, there is a different style in this poet which Robert Frost has adopted. So what is the style here? The little lyric is extremely compact. Not a single syllable is wasted. The aim is aphorism, brevity. For Frost's truth remain ambiguous. The question goes unanswered. The subject is highly sublime. The treatment or the language is very simple. The rhyme scheme of the poem is ABAA, BCB, CB. So this I will discuss later also. So what is the rhyme scheme of the poem? It is AB, A, BC, BCB. Okay, so now I would like to tell you, this poem again is a very small like the first poem. Okay, and I would like to tell you something about the poem. Okay, there are many ideas. There are many ideas about how the word will end. One thing is certain, everything that exists today has an end. The poet also believed that the world will end someday. But both it can end by fire also, it can end by through ice also. Both the extremes can bring destruction of the world. If the sun gets so hot that it bursts, the world will come to an end. If the world grows extreme cold and freezes, that will also mean the end of the world. Now children, for first, fire stand for passion, unbridled desire, lust and fury. Ice stand for cold reasoning, devoid of warmth of human feeling and rigidity. Okay. Now a simple question is put by him, will the word will be the word end with fire or freezes? And children, still the answer remain unanswered in this poem. We all know that everything which has a beginning has an end also. It is the eternal law of nature. The existing world will come to an end one day. The poet believed, as many people believe, that either fire or ice will be the cause of the end of the world. Now people are divided over the cause of the end of the world. Some people think that fire, symbolized by unbridled passion, desire and fury, will destroy the world. Others believe that ice, symbolized by cold reasoning, indifference and hatred, will be the cause of destruction. The poet sides with those who believe that fire or unbridled passion and desire will result in the destruction of the world. Why does the poet say, I have tasted of desire? I hold with those who favor fire. The poet is familiar with the fire of passion and desire in love. He knows quite well that uncontrolled desire, passion and fury lead to our destruction. Similarly, he sides with those people who believe that fire, symbolized by unbridled passion and desire, with the real cause of the end of the world. What will be the cause of the end of the world, or if it has to perish twice? This word is not eternal. This I will be explaining you later, children. And there is no now I will be explaining you about the children, the background of the poem. So there are 4 points which I would like to explain. First is end of the word. Okay, end of the word. So it is certain that one day this world will end, because we know, children, whatever is there in the world, one day it all gets destroyed. Whatever is existing, one day it will be destroyed by all. It is certain that this world will come to an end. The poet shares the belief of the people that everything that exists now will end sooner or later. The poet deals with a very sublime subject, the end of the world. Now children, there are 2 different beliefs. So there are 2 different beliefs that how this world will end. Okay. So according to the poet talks about 2 different beliefs that how this world is going to end. Okay, the end of this material world. Some say that this world will end in fire, and some say that this world will end in ice. The world will be reduced in a fireball in the end according to the poet. There are others who think that this world will end in ice, freezing all kinds of life into death and destruction. Now, what is the poet's view? This is two different views, beliefs is there by the people. Now, what is poet's views? This is people. Two different belief of the people, and now poet's view. Let's see what is a poet's view. The poet sides with those who believe that this world will end in fire. So poet is more favorable to those people who believe that this world will end in fire. The poet links these two very powerful elements of nature to human emotion and human behavior. Fire is a symbol of human passion. Fire also stands for unbridled desires. Uncontrolled passion of love and desire will be the cause of destruction of this world. Uncontrolled fire and untamed passionate desire will certainly bring an end of this world. The poet confesses that he himself has tasted of desire, so he is quite aware of the potential of unbridled passion of fire of love of causing death and destruction. Eyes represent hate or cold reason. No doubt fire can bring an end of this world, but if this world has to be destroyed twice, then ice can serve the purpose. Ice represent a dielectrical emotion that is opposite to fire. It represents hate. This hate is not the product of an outburst for revenge. On the other hand, it stands for cold and ice reasoning. The poet compares the nature of ice with hatred. Ice benumbs, so if cold and calculated reasoning, hate born of cold reasoning, make a man insensitive to feeling, hatred can make our minds numb. Cold thoughts and reasoning make us insensitive and cruel. So the poet thinks that ice or hate can be create a strong cause for the destruction of this world. Ice or hatred will suffice to bring an end of this world. Now children, I will be like to tell you about some main points of the poem. The poet feels that this world of ours will come to an end. He is not very clear when the end will come. So when the end will come children, that end we don't know. It is only the belief of poet that one day the whole world will be destroyed, but by which thing, though he is supporting that the world will be destroyed by fire, but still he is not sure. So he is not very clear when the end will come and what would be the mean of the end. Is it by fire or by ice? But one thing according to the poet is clear, that he believed that the world will end through fire. He seems to show his agreement at what people say regarding the ending of the world. Now children, he is agreeing also with most of the people that what is their view about the end of the world. On the basis of what people think, the poet believes that the world will come to an end by two highly contrasting but powerful elements of nature. So children, he believes both, though he is favoring that the world will end with fire, but then he has to believe both of the thing. He believes that the world will come to an end by the two highly contrasting but powerful elements of nature, that is fire and ice. Fire or ice. Either fire or ice or both will be the cause of the destruction for this world. So fire or ice will be responsible for the end of this world. Then the poet links these two powerful natural elements to human beings and their emotion. In the first stanza, the poet shows his agreement with those who believe that fire will cause the end of the world. He links the element of fire to human emotion of desire or passion. So then uncontrolled fire of passion and desire may lead us to the end of this world. Then the poet comes to the second alternative that can cause the end of this word. It is the eyes which can also cause the end of the word. In terms of human emotion, eyes means hate created by cold reasoning. Cool and calculated icy reason can lead to hate and can be the cause of the end of this word. The poet himself has experienced both this primal emotion of love as well as hate, fire as well as ice, passion as well as cold reason. He has experienced through enough of hate which is born out of icy cold reasoning. Once again I repeat this point. He has experienced enough of hate which is born out of icy cold reasoning. In the end, Frost agreed that it doesn't matter whether it is fire or ice, both can cause the end of the word. Ice or hate born out of cold reasoning is quite sufficient for causing the end of the word. Now I would like to read the poem. So again this poem is of two strangers, okay, and I will be explaining you. And so let me read the poem. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. Okay, so now children, I have to write the new word meaning for you and I would be explaining the passage. So here you have to note down some of the important word meaning. So here some mean some people. Okay. Here some means some people. Okay. And then end in fire. The word will end in fireball. Then in ice. In ice means the world will destroy by ice, that means the whole world will freeze one day and it will get destroyed. Tasted of, for what I have tasted from my experience. For what I have tasted means from my experience. Tasted of desire, experience patience and desires in love. Okay, so these are difficult word meanings. Some means some people, end in fire, the word will end in fire for. In ice, the word will destroyed by ice, that means the whole word will freeze. Tasted of desire, experience patience and desires and love, hold with those, support those person. Okay, now paraphrasing of the stanza. Some say the world will end in fire. Now children, I told you that all the people including the poet thinks that the whole world is going to end one day. Okay, the children, the poet is thinking the whole world will be destroyed one day. And children, it is the belief of the people that the world will either be destroyed by fire or ice. Okay, so the existing world will come to an end one day. It is a belief of the people also, and people are divided on this issue. Some believe that the world will end in fire, and some believe that the fire of patience and desire will lead to the end of the world. So fire of patience and desire will lead to the end of the world. Some people think that the world will end in ice. Cold reasoning and hate will lead this world to destruction. However, the poet has experienced patience of love and desire. He supports those who believe that fire of patience and desire will lead to the destruction of this existing world. So some people say this world will end in fire, others think that the world will end in ice. The poet has tasted the patience and pangs of love and desire, and the poet stands with those who favors that this world will end in fire. So this is the explanation of the first stanza. Now the second stanza, some new word meaning will be written before I make you before I explain this. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that this for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. Okay, so I am going to write the new word meaning. Perish is destroy. Perish is destroy. Enough is sufficient. Enough is sufficient. Hate is dislike. Hate is dislike. Destruction is ruin. Suffice is enough. Okay, so these are the new word meaning. Perish is destroy, enough is sufficient, hate is dislike, destruction is ruin, and suffice is enough. Now the explanation. Fire can bring only first line, but if it had to perish twice. Now children, if the word has to perish twice, now the poet still believe that he is supposed to the people's belief, those who had this belief that the word will end in fire. But he is still telling that if the word has to go for the destruction twice, then the world will be destroyed. Fire can bring the destruction of the existing world, but if this existing world has to be destroyed not once but twice, then ice is also strong enough to do this job. The poet has seen and experienced enough of hatred in this world. Okay, I think I know enough of hate. Now poet is telling the poet has seen and experienced enough of hatred in this world. Cold reasoning devoid of human feeling only produce hate. And this cold reasoning is like ice. Ice itself is sufficient enough to cause the destruction of the world. The world has to perish twice because though the fire and the word has to perish twice, once because through the fire and then through ice. The poet knows that there is enough hatred in this world, and hatred born out of icy reasoning is also great for destruction. Here ice is reasoning stand for cold reasoning, devoid of all human warmth and feeling. So children, with this I have completed the explanation part. Now I would like to tell what is the message of the poem Fire and Ice. So the metaphor of fire and ice are used very effectively to convey a definite message to the reader. Fire here stands for our unbridled, uncontrolled and unchecked passion, desire, lust and fury. Such passion are disaster to human beings. Similarly, cold reasoning devoid of all human warmth. Love, sympathy will bring insensitivity, cruelty and rigidity. This hatred will lead to the end of the world. Okay. So, from when I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Why does the poet hold with those who favor fire? The poet side with those who believe the world will be end by fire. Fire is a symbol of desire. Now children, here he is favoring the person who is telling that the world will end with fire. The poet has already experienced desire. On the basis of this experience, he knows that excessive desire will destroy the world. That is why he holds with those who favor fire. So children, the poet also said, I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. This is the wording of the poet. The poet is familiar with the fire of passion and desire in love. He knows it quite well that our uncontrollable desires, passion and fury lead to our destruction. Similarly, he sides with those people who believe that fire symbolized by unbridled passion and desire with the real cause of the end of the world. So children, this is the thing. But now this line, let me explain you once again. But if it has to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate. What does it refer to? How will it perish twice? So it refers to the word here. The poet says that people hold different opinion about the end of the world. Some say the world will end with fire, and the others say the world will end with ice. So here the poet is supporting, of course, fire, which stands for desire, will destroy the world. Secondly, ice, which stands for hatred, can also destroy the world. To say that for destruction ice is also great. So in this poem, what does ice stand for? Ice stand for hatred here. Hatred may be religious, it can be communal or of any other type. According to the poet, there is enough hatred in the world which will destroy the external physical world one day. Okay. Now children, here fire and ice, figure of speech, are metaphor. Okay, so they are compared with the human behavior. Okay, how this I will be explaining you in detail in one of the question and answer. So children, here the poem is, I have completed the poem. Okay, and greed. Let me tell you the word which stands for fire. For fire stands for passion and unbridled desire, lust and fury. Ice stands for cold reasoning, devoid of warmth of human feeling and rigidity. Now there are certain words which you have to note it down, which stand for fire: greed, cruelty, conflict, fury, lust, intolerance, avarice. Avarice means to have lust for money. Ice, insensitivity, coldness, indifference, hatred, cruelty, rigidity. So these words stand for ice. Now with this I end my video here. And tomorrow some more question answer and in detail once again I will discuss the poem. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.